Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Donna Burnett. I'm the Executive Director of the K-12 University Center at RIT, and more importantly, I'm the Director of AEOP Internships and Fellowships. Thank you for joining us today for the first of our speaker series this summer. So what is the speaker series? The speaker series is the building of community. It's all of our interns and fellows and the community coming together to learn about opportunities and pathways in STEM. It's really a chance for us to be together. I encourage you to take advantage of all that the AEOP internships and fellowships have to offer, including master classes in the AEOP Learning Hub, the newly announced leadership certificate, and next step opportunities that we will be introducing this month at each of our speaker series sessions. If you have any questions about these, don't hesitate to post your questions in the chat. We will be answering questions as we go along. So informal questions can go into the chat. We're going to use the Q&A function for formal questions for our featured speakers. So let's kick things off with some engagement. I would love for everybody to please post in the chat where you are tuning in from today. So where are you doing your research this summer? If you're watching with a group of interns or fellows at your lab, please let us know how many people are there with you. So just go ahead and post that in the chat, and we are very excited to see you. We have interns throughout the country. We have more than 500 interns and fellows working this summer. So this is our first big opportunity to connect with each other. We're so happy to be in the same space with you. So hopefully this is just the beginning of our engagement. Again, just a reminder, we're using the webinar function on Zoom, so you will not be able to turn on your video or voice today as a spectator, but you can engage using both the chat and the Q&A functions. Our facilitator will voice questions when we get to the Q&A period. And one more thing before I sign off. Let's have a good time learning together today. So to help with this, we will be selecting 4 attendees in this session at random, and we'll send you an AEOP Pocket Scientist or Engineer. You're going to be too cool for school with one of these. They're baddies, and we're about to post pictures of them so you can get excited in the chat. All right, so right now it's my pleasure to turn things over to Emma Dooley. Emma is an undergraduate communications intern with the RIT administrative team this summer. Take it away, Emma. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. As Donna mentioned, we will be taking some time at the top of every one of our speaker sessions to introduce opportunities available to you all. Today, we will hear from Dr. Gregory Stone, Director of AEOP Membership, who will share some resources that are available to you now and in the future as current participants and future alumni of AEOP. Take it away, Gregory.
Thank you and welcome everybody. Let me share my screen and get this party started. I'd like to welcome you and introduce myself. Again, Gregory Stone. I am the Director of AEOP Membership and the Director of the AEOP Alumni Association. And I hope that over the next coming years and months that I can get to know a whole lot of you a lot better. You are what makes AEOP membership, and we are really glad to have you. So when I think of alumni, I think of asking the question, who inspired you? Someone inspired you to participate in STEM. Perhaps it was your parent, a scientist, a teacher, or someone else. It could have been someone just like you. Membership is made up of people who have experienced one of the vast AEOP programs, including internships and fellowships. And our goal at the Alumni Association and membership is to create camaraderie and help you excel in your education and your future careers. We also would like you to help us inspire the next generation. There is no one better to inspire the next generation than you. And we want you to tell your story. We want others to hear about your successes, and we want to share those successes through our network. So I'd like to introduce you to just a few of the ways that you can participate in the Alumni Association and membership. Each year, the Alumni Association holds an annual awards ceremony recognizing some of the best young talent entering STEM. If you think you know an amazing person, a participant, a mentor, a teacher, why not nominate them for this prestigious national award? Nominations are opening later this year, so be on the lookout at usaeop.com for that nomination form. If you'd like to gain some valuable leadership experience and join a growing number of over 500,000 past participants who are creating a vibrant association, then why not participate in the AEOP Membership Council? The council creates new programs, selects award recipients, and generally helps direct the activities of our association. We'd like you to become a leader, so nominate yourself or someone else today for the Alumni Council. Nominations open very soon, so again, be on the lookout in your email and at usaeop.com. I'd also like to personally take the time to invite each of you to become an AEOP Alumni Ambassador through the link that I have on the bottom of the screen, but I'm also going to paste in the chat when I'm finished. I'd like you to help inspire young people to dream big and explore their dreams as well. It's a way for you to give back as well as get something in return. Ambassadors engage in a variety of activities. Those over 18 may host a local alumni group. Get together, network, have fun, and drinks, non-alcoholic, of course, but those are on us. Ambassadors are tapped to speak at local STEM conferences and workshops about their experiences and accomplishments. For example, one of our ambassadors just gave the keynote address at the eCyber Mission competition in Washington, D.C., in front of numerous dignitaries. This is what I call leadership exposure at its finest. Ambassadors learn about opportunities across AEOP and the larger STEM community. Being an ambassador is yet another way to demonstrate your talents to prospective educational institutions and employers. So please join us today. You are what makes us who we are. There are a host of other opportunities within the AEOP network and within the AEOP Alumni Association, but I'm going to end on just a final two. We have a Alumni Association video series called Profiles in STEM. And through Profiles in STEM, we have interviewed some of the leading scientists around the globe, from MIT to Cambridge to NASA and beyond. And we're looking for the next host of this aspirational series. Want to be a broadcaster? Why not try out to be our next host? Could be you. If you feel like sharing your work, all of the amazing research work that you're conducting now and in the future, consider adding to the membership blog featured online at USAEOP, where we share the research of people and participants just like you. You are, in fact, the next generation of STEM leadership, joining over 500,000 members strong. We represent a piece of AEOP that stays with you now and in the future. And we offer that opportunity for you to inspire the next generation. I wanted to take just a few minutes of your time to welcome you aboard, because I know we have an exciting speaker to come, Dr. Gupta, and I do not want to step on his time. So I just wanted to thank you for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your day and a great camp. I will post the link to become an AEOP ambassador in the chat, and I would welcome all of you to apply. Takes nothing to apply, just sign up and you're in. Thanks very much, and I will take any questions through the question and answer.
Thank you so much, Gregory. These sound like some great opportunities for students to take advantage of. And now I am super excited to introduce our fantastic speaker today, Dr. Vivek Gupta, a postdoctoral researcher at the University of Pennsylvania. He'll be presenting on finding your way in this world, research as a career, and his journey is truly inspiring. Dr. Vivek's path from high school to becoming an expert in artificial intelligence is truly remarkable. He earned his PhD from the University of Utah and served as a research fellow at a Microsoft research lab in India. He's shown outstanding leadership in machine learning and founded data science clubs at multiple universities. He's received some prestigious awards like the Bloomberg Data Science Fellowship and the Microsoft Research Fellowship. Plus, he's set to join Arizona State University as a computer science professor this fall. Prepare to be inspired and gain some valuable insights from Dr. Vivek Gupta.
Hi everyone, I'm hoping I'm audible. Let me know if there's an issue. Please feel free to interrupt me in between, and I'm super excited as well as nervous because this is the first time I'm speaking with younger people, and that's a little bit new for me also. So please feel free to interrupt in between or have any questions, and if there's any issue, let me hide the panel. Okay, so let me start. So
Dr.
first,
Dr.
yeah,
Gupta, this is Donna Burnett.
yes.
Can you speak a little louder or move towards the microphone?
Okay, fine.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
is my I'm audible now?
You are,
Is
yes.
it better? Okay, fine. Let me know if there's any issue on that. So I will try to speak as loud as possible.
Thank
So
you.
welcome everyone. So yeah, thanks for the introduction. So my topic today I want to speak is finding your way in that world, research as a career. So I know many of you are early career researcher and you are speaking to a person where I have studied for next like 10, 11 years. So I'm Vivek Gupta. I'm also a summer internship mentor. So I'm working with a student, high school student this year in research. And I hail from University of Pennsylvania. So let me first introduce myself a little bit about me. So you can call me a computer scientist, AI researcher, or academic. I did my undergraduate education from India, where I obtained my bachelor and master degree from IIT Kanpur. There was the first time I introduced to my current research field of AI, artificial intelligence. Yeah, the things, the chatbots and all which are there in the news, and I think many of you are excited about. So I worked on web scale product classification there, and it was funded by a startup at that time, Flipkart. Now it's acquired by Walmart there. And then I did spend 2 years of my time as a pre-doc research assistant. So they call this as a research fellow. I don't know now what they call it, but at a Microsoft research lab. And this was, I think, one of my turning point also, which really motivated me to get into PhD and do research, where I again work on machine learning and natural language processing. And finally, I did my PhD from University of Utah, where I spent wonderful 5 years of my life in mountains of Salt Lake City with snows and everything, where I work on semi-structured data, specifically tables in natural language processing, which is a branch of artificial intelligence. Yeah. So, and now I'm doing my postdoc and I'm trying to work with this new AI technology of large language models and how they interact with complex data structure and work. So I'm not going to make my talk today about anything about AI or why AI and all, a little very less on that, but because I feel like many of you are not specifically into AI thing and you want to have more career option, and definitely you should have. But I want to more tell you about my story as a researcher and what did I learn from them and what did I have think in that. So let me start with my timeline at IIT Kanpur. This was my undergraduate institution. So this is similar to, I did my Bachelor of Technology there, which is similar to a BS, Bachelor of Science. So I was there for roughly 5 years, 4 years as an undergrad and then 1 year as a master student. So one thing is like, I want to say this clearly loud to everyone, and research career is not for top people only. If you are smart, and then you can always make into research career. And also I want to tell you, if people are little lagging early in their life, then they can also still make large in a research career. So there are a few examples from my career. Like in my first year, I did failed at my basic computer science course, ESC 101. So I was not good at programming in the initially. So I learned through that, and now I'm joining as a faculty. So you can see the gap in there. So in the year 2, I realized there's weaknesses in my thing, and I worked with extra credit and also got some internship opportunity through alumni. at Synopsys. But life is not always smooth. So third year of my undergraduate, I actually suffered from a personal loss. I lost my mother. And this was really, really bad for me because it led to a depression and all this thing. And I went from top 1% to bottom 1% in the class. So you can see that the life aspect as well as research, you will face a lot of ups and downs. Um, but like securely, I was good in academic, I was smart. So I got and my first internship experience helped me getting a second internship at Samsung. And that time was the first I realized, okay, if I want to do something different, maybe I can take a research path. And I did my first undergraduate research project. And I didn't do well in the first undergraduate research project. I actually got a B grade. But the thing is not about the grade, it's about like what you learn and all. So I learned a lot during that, and then inspired me to continue on my research career. So after my fourth year, like I have two options. One was like I can take a placement offer. In India, they give a placement offer if you have intern at some place. The company want to return you at Samsung, or basically continue doing research. And my thought was, okay, let's do a second undergraduate research project and then decide. So I did a second undergraduate project, and then that went very well. And that actually converted me, inspired me to do research and all. And therefore, one thought is like, should I go for a PhD or MS outside, or should I continue in my own college? Since I was not confident enough in my abilities, so I converted to a dual degree, which is kind of doing a master in the same place and continue my research. So in the dual degree, which is the master life, I got a lot of more opportunities. So I took a lot of advanced courses which are of my interest. So this I always say to people: do things which you like and nail at that. So do more things which you are comfortable at and you want to learn. So not all of these courses I got very good grade, but all of them I really enjoyed and I have really good learning experience. Although like I emailed a lot of internship opportunity, roughly around 100, especially for in abroad and other places, but I was not able to get a research internship at that moment because I don't have much experience. Although I have good courses, but my CPI and other thing was not up to mark. So still I didn't got any internship. So then what happened is my master thesis advisor actually recommended me because I was doing good research with him. So he said like he recommended me to a startup which was Flipkart at that time. So it's an e-commerce platform like Amazon, but it was in the early stages in India. And they actually thought of doing some collaboration project with me. And I went there for 3 months. They were happy with my work and all, and they were so much happy that they actually asked me to if I want to continue with them, and they funded my whole thesis. And this was the first time happening, like an external company is funding a master thesis from their own money. So this was really nice motivation for me. And second thing I liked was also like this AI, what I've learned in courses and all, I want to distribute to many other people in the department and all. For that, I basically started a machine learning group, which is called Special Interest Group in Machine Learning. So, and I take leadership in that and take initiative to do things on that. So this end up in me securing a very nice master CGPA, and I have 2 publications by end of my masters, which is very rare. And then also completed my thesis, which was product classification in e-commerce and distribution semantics, as well as like the part of my thesis also went in their systems as a classification product. So this was really, really encouraging. So I also feel like at any point of life, if you don't have a good start, you can always end very good and do better things. So there's no bad ending. It's always not ending. So you can always continue and do bad. This led to me now make a career choice. What should I do next? And because of the publication and better CGPA and everything, I got an internship at Microsoft Research. It's a very prestigious kind of thing, and which ultimately led me to a PhD program in US in computer science at University of Utah. So first of all, like since AI is a field I work on, I can't just let the talk without motivating you. Why should you work on AI? These are some of the quotes which is there, and I'm pretty sure you all have seen AI impact in your real world. There are a lot of products which you use, from Google search to other things where AI is used. So you can see that AI at one point, many visionaries said like AI will change things, and now it's actually really going to happen in the next decade, kind of thing, in this and next decade. So this is an interesting field, and it's something like people even compare with new electricity or a new industrial evolution kind of thing. I think it's an excited area, and I'm happy to be in the forefront of these and doing things around it. This is also like the AI everywhere in the industry of software, especially engineering and even other fields. I think science, even material, medical, health, they are used. But these are some like stuff, search engines they are used, recommendations, things, advertisement, chatbots, multiple places you have seen AI in this. And one recent thing which was really inspiring is like how like there's an OpenAI company which released the Chat GPT, and it was freely released to people around the world. And how much traction does it got? Like it got 1 million users in very short period of time. So this also show like if you have the right skill set and all, and if you can make something really good, there's a good opportunity out there to do things. So AI is taking a lot of leap, and there's a lot of things you can do around that. So this is about like why I choose AI and want to work on that. Next, I want to discuss a bit on like what are the key events in my career which actually shape things. So one was the internship and elective courses. So as you remember from my conversation, like I didn't able to get a very good research internship during my masters. But I got a Flipkart internship, and I worked double hard to make that a possibility and getting a publication out of that. So I realized that poor grades and sometimes not getting opportunity at the right time can be feeling rejecting, but you should also look at the bright side, and you can always do best at whatever you are at currently. So getting that Flipkart internship and making the right work and effort needed uh, make me really interested in AI stuff, and it's also led me to take courses without caring about the grades around them and doing better on them, like especially masters and high level courses. So this also I encourage, like when you take courses and all, people do plan it out according to your grades and all, but I think you should also plan out what you want to really learn and improve at. The other thing which I really like fascinated me and all was the machine learning group and seminar things. So this led to me a lot of changes in me about under the source of motivation about disseminating knowledge, being a leader, telling about things, and then also improve my communication and fighting skills about stuff. So this seminars thing and the undergraduate project where I didn't got the good grade in the first time, but I did get better in the next, and then I ended up career in research. So that could be also one thing. So I encourage people to take such initiative of research seminars. If you can't organize, you can still attend and learn from them, and also take undergraduate projects or projects like these, interns and opportunities which are given as much as possible to do better in things. And definitely, like I won't claim everything is mine. I got a lot of good mentors in my life. This was my master thesis advisor who actually picked me for my master thesis despite having a bad CGPA. So that opportunity really helped me, and getting the Flipkart internship, doing better, and then coming with a product and all. Also, sometimes you don't get such mentors easily available, but you have your family and friends which are supportive, and also do utilize that to really do well in life. And also, there's a lot of motivation around. For example, my decision to do a PhD was inspired by a professor called Rajiv Gandhi. He's a lecturer, guest lecturer at Penn and at Rutgers. And his talk from potential to promise developing scholars 1 year comment at a time was really inspiring. And that also really motivated me to take academic career as a faculty, also not going to industry and doing more on the mentoring side and involved in mentoring aspects and all. So there's a lot of this is a very nice talk. If you want, you should definitely watch this talk from potential to promise developing scholars 1 more comment at a time. And it talk about how his journey of improving academic program and doing great things, encouraging people, especially from low income families and all, to get very great admits at various schools in MS and PhDs and all. You should recently look at this and what is he did in curriculum and making it better. So it's very inspiring and all. So lastly, like obviously when you get some success, you try to get more. So getting a publication from a non-research internship, which was not possible initially, I got from Flipkart. That was really encouraging. Then also the offers from Microsoft Research as an intern first, and then as a research fellow, and then admit offers from university. That was really, really motivating. But all of these come from like working hard, and whatever you have in your hand, you play really smart with it. So this is a kind of encouragement for all of you. So you like my BTech CGPA was 7.6 out of 10, which is really less. But still, you can end up at places like Penn and others and do really good in life. So, and some of the aspect also like I like is when you learn something, it's good to disseminate. Like for example, from the machine learning group, or I also mentor a lot of students and they really do well, then I'm also happy about that. So whatever you learn, you can also disseminate to the younger generation, and that can motivate you and do better. And once you start teaching, you also realize your weaknesses and where you are lacking and all you can do better. So I won't go in every of these career, but I want to discuss a point about like the machine learning group, how it started, and a little bit of inspirational story around that and things. So it all started when I randomly emailed like I think 6, 7 faculties in my department in India, and I said like, okay, this group is there, but it's not active, nothing is happening there. So can we do something really good and can we organize stuff? And at that time, interestingly, there were 2 new faculty joining in the department, and I thought that's a very nice opportunity to do something. And then you say, okay, let me organize a machine learning research day where all students from graduate to undergraduate to PhD, MS, everything can present their work and we can learn from them. And we also made how it will look like, very small PPT, 3, 4 hours, dedicated things and all. And we asked like what you think about that, and can we get some finances for doing that, and will it be possible for this? And this was out of the blue. They don't know me, I don't know them, much of them, except I have attended some of the courses of these students. And surprisingly, I got an email from the department and multiple faculty, and they say, yeah, this is a very nice idea, we should definitely do that and we should do that and all. So we started with this, where we organized a machine learning day, and this was just done by me and one more student, Chirag, who was also interested. So we two grouped together and started this. So we organized this machine learning research day where people presented their research on AI, and they presented all internship, course, MS, BS projects which they were confident in. We also asked some faculty to give an introduction class to just motivate about this field and what is there. The benefit of this is many people got to know that AI is exciting field. Many people got to know the faculty in AI. They also got to know what other people have done, and that opened a lot of collaboration opportunities in the department and all. Next we did is some reading organization. So we gathered like bunch of I think 15, 16 students, and we organized a lunch reading stuff where we read a lot of articles, papers, and discuss among them. So this also actually help us in improving our knowledge, encourage group discussion, peer learning, and also make us active about stuff and doing things. I always I feel accomplished when I have read paper and discussed with it and all this thing, and we got some new ideas. And I continued this even in my PhD first year, second year, where we actually have a reading group and discussion. As you see in bigger universities, there's always there. There's a reading group discussion and all. But I think that can even happen in the undergrad as well as the high school level if you are motivated enough to take initiative and do things. So I encourage all of you to start some reading discussion groups within your peers and have some paper, article, or anything interested in the field to read about that. Then you can also learn from other people. So, for example, this opportunity where many great people will speak and many and this mentorship program and all. So you can always invite people to speak at your college and high school even, and take from their experience and take from what is there and all. So this was another good thing which I like is webinar seminar series. And now there is not offline, online. You can always do a webinar kind of thing. So there's little cost, not much thing. So compared to offline talk, which obviously is a little better, but you can still do an online talk and do something around that. So I think this was one of the thing. And I think in my remembering well, like in a semester, we organize around like in 2 semesters something, we organize around 20 lectures from very prominent people in AI and all. That really motivated students to do research in AI and all. So this was thing. We upgraded the website. We were active in following up changes. We were taking the feedback and all. And lastly, we also organized some hackathon, which was funded by companies. And university also supported in that. And then we tried to reproduce some machine learning papers, work around that. So this was also another good experience around hackathon and workshop. And even if you can't organize, there are a lot of places in India, there was Triple IT Hyderabad, which really organizes these things. But in US, there's multiple opportunities, even in your college, university, where these hackathons are there, and probably you can look for participating with your group and doing something like that. So this is another aspect which I like and which we did also. And lastly, I was very emotional for me for signing off this, and I actually talked about what I have done and all, and also thought of some of the aspects of what I learned from this. So some of the thing is like you have to take initiative to do things, and I think young people are really nice juncture to do things. If you're young, you can take bold step and do new things and all. You can start up and do multiple things. Also, little bit is needed to get out of your comfort zone because it take effort to get out of comfort zone and do extraordinary thing. But ordinary people can do that. They just need to get out of their comfort zone and do something. Put their required smart and hard work for doing the things. And yeah, this is follow your passion. I think you have heard for multiple time, but if you're really interested in something, like don't worry about others, and then pursue that thing and do things. And like fourth is very important when you are specifically in research, because you will fail a lot of time in life. If you are failing, so there's quote also, if you're not failing enough, you're not innovating and doing enough. So failure is part of life. As you have seen my thing, I got like very bad CGPA, have some personal issues. Then also like whatever I like, I want to get it, and I work extra hard for that. And lastly, like we should have a support circle, motivation around, which is family and friend. Like they are really, really important. So you can always do big things. The only thing is you have to push yourself, get out of your comfort zone, take the initiative, follow your passion, and be okay with if you succeed or not. There's always learning involved, so you can always use that. This email actually hit the department well, and I got a lot of messages from faculty, students, and they were very happy around things. And some of them even like what I wrote things and happy. And this actually motivated me. It was the first time I feel like, okay, I should do something as an academia, as a mentor. And I started mentoring students after my master's, and there were some initial student I mentored. I'm very happy to say like some of them, like Dheeraj is graduating his PhD, Shivansh is doing his PhD, Rahul and Ankit are doing a machine learning job in India. And then it led to mentoring multiple people and all those things. So this is a very nice quote I have, which inspired me, is what will matter, not what you learn, but what you taught. So I also request, if you learn something, be okay with spreading with people and encouraging them and motivating them, and be there. Also, this is my personal motto. Like I want to inspire people to achieve more. I want someone to look at me and say, because of you, I don't give up. So this has happened to me also when I was in my bad shape in my bachelor's BS thing. I have a master mentor who actually motivated me in doing this thing. So yeah, so this was a little bit about my career of up and down and doing things and making a group and getting motivated from it, and then doing actual research now. Roughly, I want to talk a bit about STEM careers, because I'm sure you are all want to know what is the career ahead, what the future look like, and all. So I want to also give the slide custody to Harish. He's a ML scientist, I think senior ML scientist at Microsoft. So like there is a lot of options. So one aspect is you should do, obviously you have to get in the engineering program. You can do a lot of things. If you want to do research after after your BS, the other thing you do is like do an MS or PhD. And generally these are tests you have to give for doing that. Then obviously college selection is most important, and there's a lot of several factors involved with it, and it depends on your personal choice and all. And now the admission process, like for especially for I think it's for more oriented towards international student, but like it's you have to get letters of recommendation. But this is true for I think even non international student and US student, and you have to make a statement of purpose and a letter of recommend and get letters of recommendation. So this should be as natural and as good as you are. So very take time and do this thing really well and all. And then obviously managing things. So you will be applying to multiple places. So you should be very clean on where you are applying, what is the cost of these, and how you deal with it. It's a very competitive thing also. To be okay with, like I tell you from I think I applied to 12 places and I got admit and PhD from just 2 places. And as a faculty, I applied to I think 50 or 60 places and I got admit final offer from 1 or 2 places. So this is really competitive, but I think you can still get things if you do it properly and prepare well for it. There's also career in AI companies which work on very challenging problems. We have already heard of Google, Apple. There are a lot of startups also. They work more in a collaborative environment. So here you are working not as an individual researcher, but more as a collaboration in a team with a large team and doing things. And there's a lot of work satisfaction in there. There's benefits. Salary is nice. There's some more freedom with work-life balance in that. Although I feel like industrial research do create impact, but the impact is not as great as being in academia or where you are impacting directly mentoring students and all. So you get occasional interns and things, but you are still working in a close group with stuff and building stuff for the thing. The impact here is more on the product side, where you have make something which help people. So we have better search engine which help the company get better revenue as well as people get better results. So there is impact, but social impact as well as individually creating impact on some person, that is less. There's a lot of good government organizations. I'm sure you are aware of more on this, where you can also work and which are using AI in various fields and all. And definitely they have a lot of outing and fun opportunity which you can do. Although getting in this company requires some skills, so you have to work on them. So you don't need to worry about all of these things now, but this requires you to take good projects as well as like get some core knowledge on maths and engineering, and also prepare for the company which you're aiming for through coding. And also, if you feel like coding is not required in the next 1 year because of AI and all, I think I'm not very positive on that statement. I feel coding is a must thing which everybody should kind of learn and have some interest in. Specifically if you're aiming for engineering and CS and all those careers. So also coding is just one aspect. There are other things of puzzle solving, trickiness, and mental ability kind of stuff. So you should be also good at that. So team player, other aspects. So these are very important when you specifically work in a company and all. So for freshers, like I feel like participate in competition, hackathon, even get some startup experience, because I think the Flipkart experience as a startup really helped me in doing hard work and working in a deadline and pressure mode. And when you get little bit experience, you can use your connections over LinkedIn and build your network more strong, especially your alumni network, and get better opportunities. And then you can also, with your experience, apply to better places and all. I definitely want more people to of this career of startups, where you work on your own idea, create your own business model, and also pitch your thing. And this should not be just software startup. There is a lot of opportunity of technology in social startup, NGO, and government funded startup. So try to see what these opportunities are there. And I was also request, as you are early in your age and career, definitely look for these, because later on it's very difficult to switch and take risk in life. You can take more risk when you are younger in life and do things. So, for example, this is the Uber, which was just a startup. Now it's a very big company, and this is like the various aspects they were involved in and all. You can also do service sector. So you can work with the NGO. You can use, since you know technology better than many people, you can work with startups and get stuff. So I work with a startup in India where I use my technological skill to raise fund for them, write proposal for them, organize data for them, and even like plan out how things should be done for them. So you can also involve them in voluntary, non-voluntary, and way to help people and all. Now, the big question is, what is the best for me? So I want to cover on this also. This is a very difficult question, and there's no single answer for that and no simple answer for that. You have to figure this out yourself. And I think like one aspect is, since you're early in your career, it's better to take broad and risky, a little risky, but calculated risky decision and do well. Also, one major advice I have is don't cheat yourself, because this is your life and you have to do best in this. And obviously starting early always helps. So start early searching, because everything takes times. So if you are active and start early searching, you should explore. But exploration is also a search. So you should do that starting early on. And lastly, this is a big diagram which inspired me a lot in making all my decision career. So what is your passion and goal? And answer these 4 questions and probably you'll get some answers. What is your passion goal? What are the things you are good at, area of expertise? Will that be enough to support yourself and do? How much will the world care about this problem? So think of these things. It's a little hard to come with everything, all of these 4 together, and then you optimize, which is what is the best we can do. So definitely try to find a passion. Go and explore if you haven't find that and area and all, and be open to new challenges and stuff in your life. Lastly, like it's your life, be happy. They can be this is like a little bit of computer science related, but it's like life, I think, is a random time graph between 2 moments. It's a random walk, and what we try to do is optimize happiness with a function without giving any overflow exception. And also this is like a code kind of aspects. So ultimately what we look for is a happy life where you are doing good in life and doing things. So there are a lot of challenges. You need major challenges is determination, grit. There can be family issues. Over optimistic is one thing. Like I also request ultimately we should come out as a master. So this is a good quotation: "Jack of all trades, but master of none." So I also request, like, when you make choices, think about like, and don't do too many things at a time. So this was the advice I got from a professor who said like, okay, you're doing 6 things, but you do only one thing and excel at that. So possibly like you can at one point can be exploring 6 things, but ultimately do the thing which you are good at and where you feel passionate about, and just do that thing to the very great extent, rather than doing several things where you're not excelling much on all. But exploration phase, you can obviously do multiple things to find what you want to do. So success take multiple rounds, and you should work on them. And you should ask obviously what things really make me happy and what career path I should choose. Disappointment is a big thing in research specifically, and it requires a lot of balancing your emotion on those aspects. So one disappointment, for example, in my final year of PhD, I lost my father suddenly, and that was really surprising, an unexpected event, and this was really demotivating for me. But this is part and parcel of life, and you should take this in a positive way and work towards it. And be with your family and friend, because they are the best source of motivation for you to do well. So this is a quote also I like: if you want to go far, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So I feel like depend on what you want to do. Specifically, when you want to go far, then you always need teamwork. You cannot do it alone. So be a very good team player also. But you also have to take initiative. Leadership role has needed to get ahead in life. But there will be unintentional discouragement, but be okay with that. And obviously avoid some bad habits of postponement, laziness, take some initiative, responsibility, and learn things. Be open to learning new things. And be habituated to few things of like maintaining your fitness, learning, reading, blog, etc. These are good things. So I think I'm right on time. So feel free to reach out to me. So in this talk, I mostly want to present a journey of my life, especially in my earlier phases, and also talk to you a bit about STEM career, what are the options, and also a little bit on which one to choose from and what is there. But you feel free to reach out to me anytime. This is my email ID. You can email me on my Gmail also. And this is my webpage and LinkedIn. Do feel free to connect me on LinkedIn, and if you need any help, and I'm always supportive on that. and I'll try to do my best to help you out. Thank you.
Great presentation, Dr. Gupta. That's great. We have some questions for you in the chat. My first question for you comes from an anonymous attendee. It says, nowadays, AI/ML is growing at a very rapid rate, making it harder for entry-level students to make a heavy impact because having expertise is more prioritized. What do you think is a good way to still be able to contribute, and how can younger students make themselves more attractive applicants without having as much expertise?
Oh yeah, this is a very nice and challenging question. I do agree. But I think the challenging part also create a lot of opportunities. For example, like with the advent of things happening in AI, probably now you can work with a lot of tools, technology which is there at your ground level, and you can create a lot of new startups and all. So a lot of applications which people haven't thought of, you can work on that. Although I seem like AI has done a lot of things, it's hard if you don't have expertise. I still feel there's a lot of questions which people even have not thought about. Let me give you an example on this. So people have not much thought about the safety aspect or harmful aspect of AI. Probably you can think on that and do something around that. So they are unexplored area. You have to find it out and think on. And obviously, if you want to do some earlier aspect in AI, you can look at, for example, there's a lot of platform like Kaggle. There hosts competition on AI and all. There's a lot of learning courses on Coursera and open source platform. You can also enroll in them and learn little bit on artificial intelligence, machine learning. A lot of things on YouTube, so you can watch on them and see. So these are the few things you can do, and definitely do some hand-on projects to get experience and do something. The other thing is you can also reach out to people like me, PhD, MS, undergrad student, and get involved in them in doing things work. So I have 2, 3 high school students who are working with me. They are somewhat even doing better ideas than people who are narrow-minded in their research. The ideas coming from me is like from all for 11 and 7 years, so they will not be very different. So you have this opportunity of fresh mind and do something very different. So you should think on that.
Great. Our next question comes from Christopher. He asks, Dr. Gupta, how did you handle working with unpleasant colleagues? You seem to maintain an upbeat outlook, which probably helps bring the most out of others.
Correct. So there is multiple aspect. There's not anything unpleasant kind of thing. There's always, I think, the circumstances is the one aspect. So you should try to understand why things are not working out. And obviously, you can take corrective steps needed out. You can divide the work. Uh, you can be encouraging and motivating. I feel like rather than being a little bit pessimistic about things, if you start becoming optimistic, then that's one way of dealing with this. And second thing is also like be initiator of things. So let's say if you are working with someone and that's not happening and is not contributing much, maybe you can contribute more, and then the other person or feel like, okay, I should do things, and they will contribute. And ultimately, if still the case happen that you are working with an unpleasant colleague or something didn't work out, more effort you have to put, then it's also think of this as more learning opportunity. You have learned much more than the other person if you don't want to do. So I think there's always plus side. Try to look at that, and you can also take corrective step and try to understand what's happening in that thing and things. So many times I feel like people are not just working or something, or they are not because they just are in a bad phase or they just don't get enough motivated. So probably you can be the other source of inspiration to get things done. So this thing will happen a lot when you are especially doing group projects in the later phases and all. And I also encourage you to not always form team with your friend. You should form team with other people, especially diverse people, and see if you can do. And they bring a lot of new ideas and new aspects. So instead of your aspects, so you will get a lot of learning opportunity there also.
All right. I have another question for you here. This is from Pia. What qualities should you look for in a PhD advisor?
That's a nice question. So PhD advisor. So first thing is yeah, obviously. So I feel like you should first person, like obviously I feel first thing you should look for is a person, how good he is as a mentor. And one aspect of looking for is how he's there with his students, current students, past students, and all. Second thing, obviously, how he's good at a researcher level. Like, is he doing really good research? Is the area related to me? Does it mentor? Does it excite me? This thing. And definitely try to do some work with him before enrolling him as an advisor or not. So the most university offer that. So it's a good match. So there's no bad advisor or good advisor. It's like just finding a good match. So if you can if your tuning with the other person really match well, then you can definitely do better. And that is also something you cannot know just by the profile and all. You have to work with that person and see how it's going and all. So obviously before committing to very long term anything, just do some trial run with that person, and most people are very open about that, and see how you fit well and how they fit well. um, Also my advice is people who are very they I have worked with people who are I would not say ki harsh on me, but like little bit not so uh, let's say they are not always positive on thing, and I got a lot of scolding on my work if I fail. But they are not bad advisor, because if you get those advisors, they really push you hard to do better in life. So be okay with those advisor also. So, but also I want more like people who are really pessimistic, and also definitely that's not a right flag also. So think about what work well for you and what kind of person you are. So some advisor are very hand on with you and do engage involved in everything. The other person can let you, give you more freedom and do things on your own. So depending on your personality also, you can select advisor what you want to work with.
I have another question here for you from the University of Pennsylvania. Could you identify your favorite research project for us? What prompted you to start the SIGML group?
Okay. So my favorite research project I did was my PhD research work with my advisor. So when I went to my advisor, he proposed three problems to me to work on. One was like super futuristic, which is something like AI generation, which is now people are doing. But I thought like we are very far away from that, and that's not possible at that time. So I dropped that problem. The other problem he was working on a tabular data or complex data, and less people have worked on it. But still, he said like, I don't know much about this, and you also don't know. Maybe we'll together figure it out if you're okay. And then one problem was one where he was very comfortable with, and like he say, yeah, we'll do it. So I choose the second one, which was like working on complex data. So this was my PhD thesis around also like AI on complex data, specifically tables. It was a new area for me. My advisor, we created new data set on semi-structured table reasoning and all. So that area actually helped me learn, him learn, and we do something better. So that was one of my, I think, the good project where I started this AI on complex data type, and which was early on in my career compared to others, which helped me in. Other thing was the Flipkart experience, where I work on classification for product categories. So you have seen, go into Amazon and e-commerce slide, you've seen the taxonomy of things. So if a new product come, how will you arrange on that? So that was exciting because this was a very new problem for me. I've never worked on AI, and then I learned a lot on that and deliver. And then I tried new things out of the blocks. And since I don't know much, I just want to tell you, if you don't know much thing, this is also a new opportunity to create new things. So I created new algorithm which was not there, and people like in it works. So if you don't know things, it's also sometimes in your advantage, because you can think fresh and do something really exciting. So these are the two projects I feel like where I really enjoyed thing. Um, and some of them were long-term goal like PhD. So that was like 5 year working on something on complex data. So that led to a lot of interesting problems which are relevant now. And also research, sometimes the results of your uh, fruit or the seed you grow will come later on. So my area when I work, it was very not that well known, but now it's picking up really, really well. So working on different things is not always bad. They might pick up later on. So we have patience and perseverance in your thought if you believe in it. Yeah.
All right, I think we have about time for one or two more questions. So this next question says, how do you deal with feeling inferior, not good enough compared to others, and what can you do to get over it and feel more confident and believe in yourself?
This is a very nice question. I always have this. This is called imposter syndrome, and it's very common in PhD and when you take a higher career in academia and all, because you see surround yourself like everybody is doing great and you are not doing. But this is not the fact. So one thing, and this I feel will happen more in the next generation. One aspect is because of the social media and other thing. We are very happy to celebrate our successes, and that is what we post on social media and other. And we look at only that side. But to be very frank, there's a lot of failure aspects in the career of a person who is having success. It's a lot of hard work and smart work involved. So not feel that you are not good at. So you can take inspiration from my own career. Like I have very bad CGPA, I have some personal losses. I didn't got internship at any good places, but then I end up doing well. So you can always change the thing if you want to work. If you can work hard, smartly, and put the extra hours which is needed to get things done. So be open with that and do things. If you can do that, then there's no need for imposter syndrome. And always, this is one thing I have in mind. Like if you are already here, you are better than many others. So be positive about that. So not always like, okay, chase the competition and all. You should compare yourself with your and just be better at yourself in the coming days. That's should be the goal. Everything else like doesn't matter. Like if somebody is doing good in something, that doesn't mean like everybody has a different career path. So you can take your own time, own pace, but just try to be better at yourself from the previous time. Just aim for that, and then probably to then there's no point of imposter syndrome or feeling inferior or not. When you start comparison, then it's happening. So stop doing that too much. Yeah.
I think we have about one more time for one more quick question. David says you applied to 60 different programs regarding internships. What is your advice for those who you reached out to?
Yeah, so I learned a lot from that. I got very interesting emails when I applied for my undergrad. Uh, so one of the professors was very nice. He actually emailed me back. He said, "I won't give you an internship, but here is what I have advice for you." And then I have a follow-up conversation with him, and that really changed my mind. Few things I feel like you should do for a successful has been intern. Don't send cold emails. Learn about the other person, what they are working on. Read their stuff. Have an opinion about things what is missing out. Be critic on this. It's okay, like not totally critic obviously, but be critic, like because everybody is looking what you can contribute or what fresh mind. So just don't send cold emails. Well, this is what I have done. Okay, also look at the other person who you are applying. Oh, you have done this thing. I think I can contribute in this. I can do better. Do you want to talk to me? So don't send cold email and all. Second thing is when you, as I all said, like be master of none, jack of all trades, master of none. So people try to build a very long series, but I feel like if you have a resume and you have one good thing in your resume which you are really proud of, pull that thing out and mention that in your email and other things. So play on your strong point, acknowledge your weaknesses, but then say how you can improve on that. So definitely that's the other aspect I have in when you apply for internship and all. Like be good at one or few things where it shows, okay, this I'm good at this and I think I can contribute with you on this. So these are the two things. Know the other person before applying. Secondly, know your strength and use that when you apply. I think these two things will end up you better like thing. And these all I learned because I didn't got any of these from these 50 places, but I got a lot of feedbacks and that helped me doing better in the next time.
Unfortunately, that is all the questions we have time for today. I'd once again like to thank you, Dr. Gupta, for your amazing presentation and your great advice to all of these young students. We really appreciate everyone here for attending our first webinar of the AEOP Internships and Fellowships 2024 Speaker Series. Our team at AEOP is always excited to hear and share your stories. If you want a chance to win some free AEOP merch, please submit your photos of yourself and your AEOP gear or with your AEOP mentor to the email that is in the chat. You can also DM us your photos on any of our social media platforms. Our username is AEOP I&F. You can connect with us on LinkedIn, Instagram, or Facebook. We have all of those, which we'll also throw down in the chat for you all. Thank you all for joining us today. Our next webinar is July 16th from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. featuring Dr. Corey O'Hearn from Yale, who will be presenting on how to cure cancer and why to go to graduate school in STEM, all in one talk. And we really hope to see everyone there. Thank you all for your incredible participation today. It was great having you all here. Thank you very much.